just go for it.
So, my topic is online advertising blocking software. And for those of you who don't know, an ad blocker is a program that removes ads from a website, either from the user's view, or just removes them from the website entirely. And so what this does is it removes the ad revenue that the website owner would normally get from that ad. So my main claim is that the use of ad blocking software is ultimately detrimental to the user. So the most widely used ad blocking software is called AdBlock Plus. So the stats that I'm going to be using are in reference to that software. So my supporting claims are, first, that each person who visits a website directly costs the owner money. Second, that this issue has been seen before with television advertisements. Third, that ad blocks have a very large and very tangible impact on the website industry. And finally, that websites are forced to comply with AdBlock Plus's terms. So each time a person visits a website, they cost the website an amount of bandwidth. The website has to pay periodic fees such as like staffing and maintenance to make sure that the website keeps running. And every time someone visits a website, they are forced to pay a bandwidth fee. So when you visit a website, you're directly costing the website money. And the way that the website would normally make up that money is with ad revenue. But if you do not see the ads, then they do not get any money for your visit, which means that each time you visit a website, they lose all that money entirely. My second point is that this issue has already been seen with television advertisements through a company called Replay TV. The way that their product works is similar to TiVo's, where you can reward and rewatch shows, but instead of being able to only like fast forward through advertisements, Replay TV's technology allowed users to skip advertisements entirely, and as a result, they were sued due to copyright infringement by US television networks. And I have a quote from Chris Soghoian that says, "While it's said that TiVo users are freeloading from the broadcast networks, users of web advertising skipping technology are far closer to theft than they are to freeloading." My third point is that ad blocks have a very large and tangible impact on the website industry. And the following information comes from a website called PageFair, which is an independent organization dedicated to informing users about the effects of ad block. And their staff includes multiple technologists and stuff like that who have degrees in this field. And their finding from a 2015 study showed that there are over 198 million ad block users in the world. There has been a 41% increase in the use of ad block globally. And last year alone, ad blocking software cost industries at an estimated $22.8 billion. So my fourth point is that websites are forced to comply with AdBlock Plus's terms. AdBlock Plus specifically targets very high traffic websites, such as YouTube and Google, and they block out their ads specifically because their goal is to create a form of acceptable ad so that these ads can be displayed to users who are using AdBlock software, even though they have the AdBlock on. And through this, AdBlock is able to make their own terms, such as taking 60% of the ad revenue that is seen from these ads. So websites are forced to choose between taking none of the revenue of the users that are using AdBlock software or taking 40% of it. Alex Hearn, who is a lead tech reporter for The Guardian, says that shakedown, racketeering, and extortion are common terms publishers I've spoken with have used in relation to AdBlock Plus's acceptable ads. And sites that have attempted to block AdBlock users often fail, and as a result, lose those visitors entirely. So I have a quote from Patrick Culp, who is a lead business reporter for Mashable, and he says that only 0.33% of 576 different targeted appeals it ran on 220 different websites convinced visitors to exempt their site from an ad blocker. Of those that did, 1/3 of those eventually backtracked on the decision. So what can be taken from all of this is that ad blocking software directly steals money from a website, and people who use that website, or people who use the ad blocking software, ultimately lead to the website losing money and being forced to shut down.
All right, we'll go quickly, Kyle. It was well-structured, easy to follow. I didn't think there was much proof on the first couple of supporting points. The analogy to TV on the second point basically is interesting one, but I don't know exactly how significant that's been on ad revenues for television stations. If, you know, they have lost business, how much have they lost because of TiVo or the replay TV, you know, kinds of things. You mentioned that they got sued. I assume that if they got sued, that there was a resolution to that, and without the knowledge of what that what happened there, I don't know that it's automatically illegitimate or problematic. The explanation about how they're forced to accept the ad block and then get only 40% of the revenue, that needed to be clear. There's something interesting about that, and I think there's definitely something argumentative there. The quote that suggests that this is, you know, some kind of shakedown or extortion, I think that that's probably a good point, but I think that could probably be said of a lot of stuff that goes on in the world. You know, it's, you know, planned obsolescence is the same sort of thing. You know, somebody's always going to be complaining about that. The question is, can people function without it? You know, the demonstration that websites are declining or closing because they aren't getting those revenues, I think that's missing, and that needs to be developed a little bit more. All right, I can tell that everybody's ready to go. You've got your feet in the aisle, that sort of thing. On Monday, remember, we have 4 speakers scheduled, and then we also have the test. You need a 815E quiz strip like you use for the quizzes. And then your group needs one 886 Scantron. That's the Scantron with a fold-over page on it. But you only need one of those for your group. If you haven't formed groups, don't worry about it. We can form them on Monday. We can just randomly assign you. All right.